I stared at my phone for a long time. The message just sat there, glowing coldly on the screen like a wound refusing to close. Watch your sister's wedding online. We'll send you the link. Just like that, no apology, no explanation, not even a hint of hesitation. They had made their choice. And I was not part of it. My name is Clara. I'm 23, the eldest daughter in a family where silence and secrets often passed for love. 2 years ago, I came out to my parents. I told them I was in love with a woman, Elena. She made me feel seen, safe, like I mattered. But my truth tore through the fragile tapestry of our family like a fire through dry grass. In one night, everything changed. At first, there was just silence. Then came the rejection, a quiet, calculated disappearance of support, warmth, and recognition. Birthday calls stopped. My name vanished from family group chats. When I visited home, my presence became an inconvenience, something to be endured rather than cherished. I still remember the last time I went back for Christmas. It felt like being a stranger in my own childhood home. The decorations were the same. The meals smelled familiar. But no one looked me in the eye. And now, this. My younger sister, Lily, my best friend since childhood, was getting married. And I wasn't invited. I had helped raise her. I had braided her hair every morning before school when Mom was too tired. I'd comforted her through heartbreaks and helped her practice her wedding vows when we were still playing make-believe with Barbie dolls. I had imagined being by her side on her big day, watching her light up in love. Instead, I was told to watch from a screen. Elena sat beside me in the kitchen as I read the message again. Her hand found mine, and I felt the squeeze that had carried me through every dark moment over the last 2 years. They don't deserve you, she whispered. But that didn't stop the ache. The ache of being left out of something that was once my dream, too. The day of the wedding arrived, and I refused to watch the live stream. Instead, I went to the shelter where I volunteer every Saturday. A place full of souls forgotten by the world, people without homes, families, or places to belong. But in that little corner of the city, we made a kind of family. Broken, yes. But real. When I walked in, Terry, a wiry older man with a mischievous smile, greeted me with a booming, "Morning, sunshine." "Morning, Terry," I managed, though my heart felt like lead. "You okay, kid?" he asked, eyes softening. "Family stuff," I said. He nodded, understanding more than I said. "Ah. That old beast." We spent the day serving soup, handing out fresh clothes, and just listening. One young woman, barely 18, cried as I helped her find shoes that fit. "They kicked me out when they found out I was pregnant," she whispered, eyes downcast. I didn't ask who they were. I just held her hand and told her, "You are not alone." That night, Elena surprised me with candles and a homemade dinner. She had made Lily's favorite, mushroom risotto, because she knew I missed her. "I wanted you to have some good memories today too," she said. I broke down. Not just from the kindness, but from the grief of realizing that sometimes, love doesn't come from where we expect, but from where it's chosen, nurtured, and fought for. A week passed. Then 2. I didn't reach out. Neither did they. Until one afternoon, Lily showed up at my apartment. I barely recognized her. Her face was tired, makeup streaked, her eyes red from crying. "Can I come in?" I nodded, heart pounding. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice breaking. "I didn't fight for you. I let them decide, and I stayed silent. I thought I had to choose them, but I missed you every second." I didn't speak. I just pulled her into a hug. We sat on the couch for hours. She told me the wedding was beautiful, but something felt missing. It wasn't home without you. It wasn't whole. She hadn't known I was completely uninvited. She assumed I was busy or declined. When she found out, it hit her like a truck. I should have stood up. I should have said, if Clara's not there, I'm not doing this. But I didn't. I was scared. And now I regret it more than anything. We cried together. The next day, she confronted our parents. She told them she was ashamed, that their decision was cruel and cowardly. We raised you better, my mother said coldly. No, Lily replied, Clara did. They didn't speak to her for weeks. But slowly, something shifted. My uncle called to check in. Then a cousin messaged me. Then a letter arrived, from my mother. It was shaky, full of awkward phrasing and cautious remorse. I don't understand your life, it said. But I miss you. And maybe that's where we start. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't a resolution. But it was a beginning. Lily became my biggest cheerleader. She started coming to the shelter with me on Saturdays. Watching her interact with people, listen, help, cry with them, reminded me of why I loved her so much to begin with. One afternoon, we met a boy named Malik. He was just 15 and had been kicked out of his foster home for being gay. He had nowhere to go and had been sleeping under a bridge for 3 weeks. Lily didn't hesitate. She pulled out her phone, called her friend who ran a youth shelter, and found him a bed that night. She didn't stop there. She helped him apply for school, donated clothes, and even bought him a pair of bright red sneakers he'd been admiring. He reminds me of you, she said. That fall, I spoke at a youth conference on chosen families. I shared my story, our story, and afterward, dozens of kids lined up to hug me. One girl whispered, "You gave me hope." That was the moment I realized, being left out of that wedding wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something more honest, more impactful, and far more beautiful. Months passed. Elena and I moved into a new apartment with a sunlit balcony and too many plants. We hosted dinners for our new family, Lily, Malik, friends from the shelter, neighbors who became sisters and brothers through shared meals and laughter. One day, I received a package. Inside was a photo album, old pictures of me and Lily, birthday parties, holidays, random Tuesday night dinners. And a note, "I hope it's not too late to rebuild. Love, Mom." I wept. Because it was late. But maybe not too late. This journey taught me that family isn't about blood. It's about choice. It's about who shows up, who stands by you when things get hard, who refuses to let you watch life from the sidelines. So no, I didn't watch my sister's wedding. I watched something else fall apart that day, the illusion that love must always come from family. But I also watched something rise from the ashes, truth, chosen family, and a life built on love that asks nothing but honesty in return. And that was worth everything.